Good morning, student. Now I am back with a new lecture for class 8, that is chapter 11, force and pressure. The topics which we have to cover in this chapter is introduction, force, effects of forces, types of forces, pressure, pressure exerted by liquids, pressure exerted by gases, atmospheric pressure. First half of the chapter will be completed by me, and the second half, that is pressure exerted by liquids, gases, atmospheric pressure, will be completed by Ranjita ma'am. Not wasting more time, let us start with a small introduction to what we have to study. Students, I think you have seen a ball rolling on a floor, or a hockey player changes the direction of the moving ball with a flick of the stick, or you have seen a goalkeeper stops a ball, or even if you have seen this also, that a fielder stops a ball when hit by the batsman. In all this condition, in all this situation, what you all see, that the ball is either made to move faster or it is made to slower, or in other cases you can also see that the motion of a ball changes its direction also. So how all this phenomena happens? It's just happen because of applying forces. So how can we define forces? A force is a physical cause that changes or tends to change the state of rest or of motion of an object. The words push, pull, stretch and squeeze denote a force. Whenever you uses this word, a push, pull, stretch and squeeze word, these all require force. You can see a push, or you can, in a simple way, you can also explain force. A push and pull to an object is also known as force. You can see a spring. First it is not stretched, after stretching it changes its shape also. You can see the toothpaste you used to squeeze. How you squeeze? You squeeze with the help of applying force to the toothpaste. Now, force is due to the interaction. The most important thing, whenever you are applying a force to an object, it means the two objects should have a proper interaction. Let us explain me with the help of an example. See a car. In the figure a car, a boy is just behind the car. Does the car move from its position? No. In the second part, you can see in the figure B, a boy is touching or applying force or having interaction with the car. Then only the car starts to move. So make in mind that whenever a force you are applying to an object, both you and the object which you are applying the force should have a proper interaction with each other. Then only the body will move from its position. Now, what is resultant force? Two or more forces act on an object at the same time. In such a case, the net force acting on the object is called the resultant force. To make it more clear, let us have an activity you can do at your home also. Take a very heavy wooden block. Ask one of your friends and you push the box. But the box should be pushed in the same direction. You will see that it is very easier to move. Now the second time, ask your friend to push it from the opposite side. Two conditions you have to perform, one A and the other is B. You will apply force to that wooden block, heavy wooden block from the same side, and after that your friend and you from the opposite side. What conclusion can you draw from this? You can draw that when the force act in the same direction, the resultant force is equal to the sum of the forces acting on the object. But when the forces act in the opposite direction, the resultant force acting on the object is in difference between the two forces. and is in the direction of bigger forces. Remember, when you are applying force from the same direction, then the resultant force will be the sum of both the forces. But when you are applying the forces from the opposite direction, then the resultant force will depend upon out of these two which will have the bigger forces. The one with bigger forces will have the resultant force. The strength of a force is usually expressed by its magnitude. When we say that a force has a magnitude and direction, remember, a force has both magnitude, a value, and a direction. Means whenever you use to express force, you will act in two words, that is its magnitude, how much force means applied to it, and what is the direction, from north to south, east to west, or whatever. How the magnitude is being calculated? It is expressed in the SI unit of force called Newton, and it is abbreviated as small form. It is written as capital N. 1 Newton is the force which can make an object of 1 kilogram mass to move at the speed of 1 meter per second. Means, what can you say about 1 Newton of the force? Means it is the force which you apply to an object of how much mass? 1 kilogram. And what is the speed when it moves? 1 meter per second. The other unit of forces are called gravitational unit. It is kilogram force, and it is abbreviated as kgf. Now, types of forces. These forces are characterized into two parts, that is contact forces and non-contact forces. What are contact forces? Forces applied on an object by another object which is in direct contact with each other. It is called contact forces. Remember, whenever you are talking about contact forces, the two object, you, the one who is applying the force, and to the object should have a contact with each other. There are two types of contact forces: frictional forces and muscular forces. How can you define about frictional forces? The force which always opposes the motion of body over another body is called frictional forces. When we stop rowing a boat which is moving in water, it slows down and then stop. It is due to the frictional forces. Frictional forces is very important in our day-to-day life also. You are walking, writing, jumping, it's just because of frictional forces. In frictional forces, both the object has to be in a proper contact with each other. Coming back to muscular forces, the force exerted by the muscles of a body. Means, in muscular force, your muscles, your body needs to move, run, walk, jump, kick, push or pull. All these are characterized under muscular forces, because in these the muscles of the body are being used. The muscular force can also be seen in animals also. For example, the bullocks to move a plough, horses to move a cart, donkeys to carry load, elephant move logs in forest. These all animals require muscular forces. Non-contact forces. When a force is applied on an object by another object, but they should not be in contact with each other. Means the two surfaces of the body should not be in touch with each other. They are called as non-contact forces. They are of three types: magnetic force, electrostatic force, and gravitational force. What is magnetic force? To understand this, let us have one activity to perform. Take a magnet and bring few pins. What you will see, that the magnet attracts the iron pins. You can also see that we are not touching the magnet with the pins. The pins automatically attract towards the magnet. So you can see the two objects are not in contact with each other. Electrostatic forces. For this also you have to perform an activity, then only you will understand what is electrostatic force. Try to rub a plastic ball pen or your comb on your dry hair. Put few pieces of paper and bring that ball stick or comb near to it. What will happen? You will see that the pieces of that paper get attracted towards the comb or your ball point pen. Why? It is just because of electrostatic charges developed which causes the paper to get attracted towards the comb. And this charge is known as the electrostatic force. Gravitational force. Suppose you drop a stone from the roof of your house. What happens? It falls down. You throw a ball above in the air. What will happen? It again come down. It is just because the earth pulls them, and this pull of earth gravity is known as gravitational force. I think, student, this lecture is related to force is very clear to you. Go through this lecture once or twice, you will understand it. So at last I want to say thank you to you. All the best.